Here we are back at Google aviationweather.gov. Let's just go here, and then if we go to forecasts, we can go to Prog Charts right here, and then it's going to bring you to the Prog Chart page. You can click on it, area of the world if you wanted to, or you can scroll down and you can just kind of do the United States. So I like to do the surface plot and then the low level, because the low level is surface to 24,000. So as a general aviation pilot, we're not going to go any higher than that. So let's look at the surface plot. Now this is just significant weather. So this is kind of what your weatherman is going to show, with the H's and the L's showing the pressure systems, the troughs, and any weather fronts. So one thing, obviously our route, our example is just down here in Southern California. It's not really traversing through and changing any pressure systems. But if you see a pressure system right where you're at, that can be a sign of things changing, or sorry, a front right where you're at, that's be a sign, or maybe a front to the left or right of you moving in a direction, a sign that the weather is changing and you might get adverse weather. When different air masses mix, that's what creates weather. So, and then again, you kind of want to avoid low pressure areas. Low pressure is usually going to be, associated with worse weather. So you kind of want to, if you were to fly a flight across the United States, you can kind of just fly through the H's if you wanted to. So it's just a cool kind of tool to look at the different fronts, where the air masses are kind of moving. It's a bit confusing, but you can even get, the weather here in millibars, or the pressure in millibars on these ISO bars here, these gray lines. That's where the pressure is all the same, and you can see when these gray lines are stacked close together that the pressure is changing a lot in those areas. And then as you can see, these lines get all squirrely around here over the Rocky Mountains, and so the pressure gets real weird in here, and that's why they have so many different H's and stuff like that. Down here we don't have much to worry about. We have the Sierra Mountains, which there's a pressure change over there, but we're just going to be right over here. So we're good. We're in kind of a low pressure area, but we're not in any fronts or anything like that, or areas where there's a bunch of isobars changing our pressure. Okay, the other one I want to show you is just the low level significant weather chart. I'll zoom in on this for you here. Now, again, this is just going to show you, like in red, it'll show you basically like IFR areas, and then it'll show you like MVFR, and then if there's nothing, then that's going to be VFR. So you can look kind of around the United States and kind of see where there's going to be low level clouds, right? Yeah, you got over here on the coast, again, we saw that already, that's going to be IFR conditions because of the marine layer. You got IFR conditions up here in the northeast, and then you got some like marginal VFR, and in between IFR and VFR here with, again, ceilings between 1,000 and 3,000 feet and visibility between 3 and 5 statute miles. You even can see the freezing level, kind of high level, freezing level above mean sea level here. That's really not going to, I like to use the graphical forecast to see if there's any freezing or icing at my exact altitude. This, for a short little flight, this is not going to be very helpful, but if you were taking a longer flight, and flying through, for example, freezing level at the surface would definitely be something you'd want to pay attention to. Over here you can get, some turbulence. This, moderate turbulence signals here, and then it tells you the altitude in hundreds of feet below it. So just high level, really high level stuff. We go over again in detail how to look at this in the course, but yeah, so that's basically, this is a good place to start. If it's more so if you're doing, again, longer flights, but you can kind of look and get the general area, that you're flying in, see if there's any significant weather. You can look at the surface plot and just kind of see, is there, could there be big weather systems coming in that I need to worry about that would bring adverse weather? Okay, so let's get back to the slideshow and talk about some more weather stuff and where to get weather for your cross-country flight.